Hey everybody, my name is Tamiya Robles. I am the owner of FixMyCreditNow850.com. I am doing another video. This video is for me to show you guys how to read a FICO credit report. So I did one regarding Credit Karma, and now this is going to be for MyFico. If you don't know what your FICO scores are and you want to know what they are, you want to know what the mortgage lender sees, you want to know what the credit card company sees, then you need to sign up for a company called MyFico. That's the only company that will show you all of your credit scores, not your Vantage scores. So if you need to know the difference between Vantage and FICO, I will I guess I could post the link up or just look at my videos. I'll connect it at the end of the video, but I'm not going to go into that today. So I'm going into this video with the expectations that you know that this is FICO and not Vantage. Okay. Also, Credit Karma and then FICO. So I have a whole video on that too. But right now, I'm going to share my screen with you guys and walk you through the whole process of what to look for. This video might be a little lengthier than the Credit Karma video, because they deal with way more different versions of FICO scores or credit scores. So that's just how it is. So I apologize for the length of the video. I'll try to shorten it up. But also, I want you guys to understand too that I am using one of my favorite customers' credit reports, and to protect her personal information. At times I'll leave out of the share just so you're aware. So if you're like, hey, where did the screen go? I'm leaving and coming back because there's personal information. So when you first log on, you're going to get to this screen. However, I do want to show you pricing. So these are the packages that MyFico has. So they have basic, advanced, and premier. Per basic, it only shows you your Experian credit report. It will show all three credit. I'm sorry, it will show Experian every month. But and then the rest of the stuff, I'm not going to get into all of this. I'm strictly going to talk about scores, but these are the additional services that you can get under the basic package. This is not going to help you if you're trying to figure out what your mortgage score is or what all your credit scores are. The next one is the advanced package, and then the premier package. The differences between the two is advanced only updates every 3 months and premier updates every month. I prefer this one because, especially if I'm trying to do a major purchase, and I need to desperately know what's going on with my credit report on a regular basis, then I get the premier. If you're not really in a rush, you just want to casually check your FICO, just keep an eye on it, I would get the advanced package. So, I mean, if you're okay with every 3 months looking at your credit report, and seeing what your FICO scores are, then get that. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go back into this client of mine, her credit report. So when you first log on, you're going to see the FICO score 8. We are actually currently working with FICO 10 and FICO 10T. However, this is the most commonly used FICO score, is the FICO score 8. A lot of companies have not caught up yet to the FICO 10 and the FICO 10T, which is fine. They don't have to. Everybody's looking at the FICO 8. I'm not going to go into super duper detail about the scores and when they come out, because like I said in the other video, I explained how that works. So when a new FICO score is released. When you scroll down a bit, what I like about MyFico is they make this user friendly. So if you don't know much about credit and what to look for, they have icons, they have pretty colors just to help you through it, and help you. It explains pretty obviously what's what. Once you get into darker colors and the reds, it's not a good thing. Once you get in the yellows and the greens, it's a good thing. It's positive, right? So if you were just quickly eyeball it. So this client of mine, she is pretty much responsible. She's had some issues here and there with her credit, but she's pretty much, for the most part, she's responsible as far as making payments are concerned. Her income is decent, if not great. I don't really know her overall income, because I don't need to know that. But for the most part, from what I can see on her credit report, just basically dealing with her credit, I know she has a pretty good income. But just like with anybody, you have ups and downs, and things happen to your credit report, and you know what's going on. So we're going to scroll down a little bit, and these are the different score versions. So just like FICO 8, that's a version of FICO. There's other versions too. So let's say you are trying to purchase a home and you're starting the home buying process, and you want to know what your mortgage scores are. And then you would click on this one. This is the mortgage scores. So it has a little house with the money $sign on there. So you click it. As you can see, the scores drastically changed, and the scoring systems are different. This is what a mortgage company typically uses, these scores. There's also another scoring system that's missing called FICO Classic, and the mortgage company uses that as well. So you would click on that and you would see what's going on. This is just a chart to let you know where your credit score was over time under these FICO scoring systems. And then this just gives you a general idea of what your rate would be based off of your FICO 2 right now. So in this case, if she were to purchase a home and she were to get a 30-year fixed mortgage, 20% down, it'd be 300. Like, it's self-explanatory. This would typically be her monthly payment. This would be her APR rate. And then it just tells you a little bit. A score of 660 could save you 25,200 over the life of your loan. But I don't live and die by that. Go by what the mortgage company says. But it gives you an idea. It gives you an idea before you start, what you're in for, what your mortgage lender is going to be looking at. Okay. So another thing is, if you want to know what's holding your score back, right? One of the things that you can do is you can click on each one and see what's holding your score back. So a lot of things in MyFico are clickable, right? So you can go further, dig deeper, and see what's going on with every aspect of your credit report. So here we're clicking on, was that an Equifax report? We're still in the FICO, it's got FICO score 5, what the mortgage and lenders are looking at. And this is going to tell you what's holding it back. So I really personally don't read all of this. You can, as a guide, use it as a guide. But as a credit repair specialist, I already know all of those things. But again, this is showing you the history strictly with Equifax, strictly with FICO score 5. And then it says what's hurting your score: serious delinquencies, high credit usage, bad payment history, recent missed payments. So these are the things that would need to be corrected in order to raise that credit score. And if you want to click on this, it just explains to you basically the definition of a serious delinquency. High credit utilization basically is from the credit cards, right? Bad payment history, we know what that means. But again, I just want to show you that you can dig deeper into your FICO credit report via MyFico. and see what's really going on and what's holding you back so you know what needs to be fixed before you go apply for a mortgage. Same thing, TransUnion, they're looking at the FICO score 4 here. This is what this report is. And the score is a little different than the other one, but it still has the same problems. Okay. And then we can go check out what Experience says, which is much better. It's almost in the 700s. And just so you know, I work with mortgage lenders and real estate agents all the time. And what they're going to do is they are going to look at the average score. So out of the three, they're going to look at the middle score. Okay. So if you have a super high score and then you have low score, they're going to look at the middle score. So in this case, let's say you have to talk to your mortgage lender to get the actual facts. I don't really know, but I think you need a 620 or a 640 to purchase a home. So they're talking about FICO 2, 5, and 4. Then you need the middle score here. So this is the super high score. This is 700. Here you have the super low score, 618. The middle score is 658. So if she needs a 640 to qualify for a home, she could qualify. Okay. Now, naturally, the higher the score, the better loan you would get, right? So now let's go back to auto loans. All right. Now, auto loans, they look at on average FICO score 8, 9, 5, 4, and 2. I do not know what car dealership is going to look at a 5, 4, and 2. I do know mortgage companies look at this older model. I think your average, when you go to purchase a car, your average dealership is looking at your 8 and 9, maybe 10, if they even know that exists, but not the 5, 4, and 2, but we're going to look at it anyway. So if you're looking here, same thing, FICO 8, these are your scores. I don't know what score you need to purchase a car, but this lets you know, though, that you have fair credit. All right. This was the chart for it. This is where you were over time. And here it's saying 60-month new car, 10% down. This is, again, estimate. $25,000 vehicle with a middle score of 661. This would be your monthly payment. And this would be APR. It says explore rates. You can click on that. Okay, that's pretty cool. So basically, this is a guide. Oh, this is pretty cool. I actually never clicked on this, but this is basically a guide for you to know what your rates would be if your score was higher or lower, this isn't too bad. So I wonder what the rate would be if you were at a 750, because this says 720 plus, but I'm sure that if you had a 750 or beyond, your APR rate would be much lower than that. That's what I'm saying. This is just an estimate. And then you can adjust your loan. I'm doing that. See? Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then your loan type, nice. Okay. All right. And it just gives you a different number. Okay. So that's pretty good. The same thing here. You click on them and you want to see what's holding your score down. And as you can see, it's the same exact issues that were on the mortgage score. Now, if you look at your FICO score 9, those scores are different. Look at that. They're higher. And then the FICO score 9s are lower. Okay, so what you want to do if you're going to apply for any type of loan, you want to, and look at this lopsided score. This is crazy. But, but what you want to do is you want to ask the lender, what scoring system do you use? Okay. The lender, the person that you're initially dealing with probably has no clue what you're talking about. They would probably need to either ask the underwriter or you can ask to speak to a manager, and the manager might have an idea, okay, on on what FICO scoring system they're looking at. But it's a legitimate question. If people give you a problem, they shouldn't. It's just probably is out of ignorance. They don't know better. So now we're going to go into credit cards. Now the credit cards, companies, they use a bank card scoring system. That's also new. They're trying their best to reject people, in my opinion, but they have bank cards now. So a FICO bank card score, rather. So you have the FICO bank card score 8, 9, bank card score 9, bank card score 4, 5, 2. And look at that, a 3. Let's click on that. I have no clue who uses the 3. I think that's why this is zeroed out. TransUnion, Equifax don't use a FICO score 3, but it looks like Experian does. But they don't have a bank card. Excellent. So, all right. Here we have the FICO bank card 8. And I don't know, again, what the magic number is for you to be approved. Actually, I do. There's a list. It depends on what credit card company you're applying for. You can find out. You can even Google it if you're that serious. You can Google which credit card companies look at which FICO score, and you can see which credit bureau they pull from. So you can look at that. I have a list, but it's a generalized list. If anybody needs that, I can post that up. But for the most part, you can just call before you apply and just ask, hey, what credit bureau do you guys pull from and what FICO score do you use? Again, if that representative doesn't know, it's cool, just ask for a manager. And this is what her 9 looks like. Totally different. Look at it. It's gone from almost 700 to almost 600. That's crazy. Drastically different. Same thing, you scroll down. Usual stuff, okay? And then now we're going to look at the new version, which is a FICO 10 and a FICO 10C. Scores are super low. FICO 10 is really going to hurt a lot of people, especially the 10C. And I get into that in my other video. All right, and this is a FICO Auto Score 10. See what that looks like, right? Yeah. And then their bank score, their bank card score. Yep. So that's how you read all the different ones. One thing I noticed is I didn't look at the FICO score 8, so we can look at that, but it's the same thing. You click on each one, and she has the same issue for all her FICO scores. Same thing, yeah. All right, so now we're going to scroll down just a little bit more. And if you look over here, it shows you Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And as I click through each one, you can see that the numbers are changing. The reason why they're changing is because, and it is the same reason why she has different credit scores. In certain cases, some of the older scores are lopsided scores because she doesn't have the same information reporting the debtors. The creditors are not reporting on all 3 credit reports, and they don't have to. So that's why the numbers are different. Also, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are 3 different companies, and they work 3 entirely different ways. So they give different scores. Even if she did have everything on all of her debt equally reporting on all 3 credit bureaus, the 3 bureaus, they just work differently. So this is a breakdown of what the makeup of your credit scores are, okay? So I get into that in another video. I'm not going to get into it today, but this gives you an idea. So with Equifax, this is what they have. Her payment history is in good status with them, which makes up 35% of her credit score. So this is pretty impactful. So overall, it says late payments that are over 90 days. She has 9. You can click on that and go into detail. Okay. The late payments, there's 9. The number of accounts that were ever 90 or 30 or more days late or have derogatory indicators. So they could be talking about over the years. It could be 5 years, 2 years, recently. Late payments, so they break it down, late payments within 60 days, and then all the extra stuff here. You can read it, self-explanatory. You can even click on the question mark and it explains even more. So I really like MyFico. It really goes into detail and it helps you out. It helps you understand more of what's going on with your credit. It explains how you have the credit that you have. And this is the amount of debt. So this is actually the same thing that we just looked at here. It's the same thing. All right. So this shows the amount of debt she has. This is basically her credit utilization. She's at 77%. She needs to drop it down to 15% or less. And this will actually raise her credit score, all of them. Because when we looked at all of the older models, remember they were stating that it showed that her utilization was high. All right. So, yeah. 13 accounts with balances. Yeah, it's breaking everything down. All right, we go backwards. Credit, the length of credit history. So this is the age of all of her debt collectively. So remember your credit is an average. So if you have, look, she has old debt, 21 years and 1 month, but on average, she has 10 years and 4 months. So every time you open up a new account, it drastically takes your years away. And that's why when my customers are trying to purchase a house, and they're like, yeah, I was told to open a bunch of credit cards and get a secure credit card. Like, all I'm hearing are horrible, horrible things that's going to destroy their credit and drop their credit score tremendously. So, the 21 years, you need that. It's a percentage of your credit score. And yes, it is a small percentage. It is 15%, but it's very impactful. So clients that do not have enough history, they usually purchase trade lines from me. It's up to you if you want to get a trade line. No, they're not illegal. And I can go into that too. I'll probably do another video on trade lines. Actually, I do need to do a video on trade lines because I just got one of my customers into, I think, the high 600s or 700s in 30 days. So I think 3 weeks. So I'll do a video on that. The amount of new credit, so is fair. So that's 10%. And you can click on that as well, and it goes into it. All right. Same thing here. Credit mixture. She has 13 different types of accounts, and it just breaks that down. So yeah, for the most part, that's how you read a credit report. Now how you read the MyFico app. Now I do want to tell you the MyFico online is different than the MyFico on your phone. It looks a little different, but everything is there. It's just in a different place. Let's see what else. Reports. So I'm actually going to stop sharing for just a second because I think if I pull up her report, it's going to show like her address and stuff like that. So when you click on report, for just a second, okay, it's not. Okay, cool. So, all right, let me go backwards here. I'm going to share the screen with you guys again. Okay, so you can look at your complete credit report. And this is called a 3B report, meaning 3 credit bureaus, 3 bureaus, 3 credit bureaus. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And I do believe she has a credit report that updates every 3 months, but she can upgrade to the Premier package. We talked about that earlier. You can always, regardless of which package you have, you can always pay here and get a new report. So during the 30 days that you're waiting for an update for your credit report, there could be a lot of stuff that's going on with your credit. Like you could be getting deletions, maybe a negative account is adding, but your report that you last looked at is not going to reflect that until the following months. But maybe you want to see it now or whatever. I don't know. Then you can just buy a report. I don't really feel that's necessary. Some people are desperate and they're on top of their credit stuff. So I don't know. So here, it's just optional. Do what you feel is best for you. Here, you can click on your credit report, and this is what you're going to see. I would say this is hard to read. I don't think it's hard to read. It's different than what we're used to. Like a lot of times when I do videos, I'm looking at Smart Credit. Smart Credit's layout is different than MyFico, obviously, different companies. But here it just gives you a breakdown. You can see all the accounts that's on the credit report. You can break it down if you just want to see what accounts are open. It will show you all the open accounts and what their status is. You can want to see closed accounts. Okay. What's inactive, negative accounts. These are anything she may have in collections, but there are no collections. Public records, no public records, 12 inquiries. See? And it's showing you across all 3 credit bureaus. If that's the package that you're paying for, you'll see that. Her personal information, I'm not going to click on that. Fraud alerts, consumer statements. Yeah, but other than that, and then you can print out your report. Here it tells you, I guess, not I guess, I'm sorry, I know exactly what this is. What needs to be worked on. Okay. And it's going to tell you, so it'll take everything, all the negatives that's on your credit report, and then just put it here and tell you like, this is what the utilization is for all 3 credit bureaus. These are the negative accounts. These are things that need to be worked on. Okay. Make it very simple. And if these things are worked on and disputed, then those scores will go up. And then these are her credit scores overall. What we just looked at. Okay. So yeah, that is actually it. That's how you read MyFico credit report. Okay. So if you guys need credit repair, credit education, need a free consultation, just go to my website, fixmycreditnow850.com. Yeah, just reach out. We'll help you. All the information will be below if you want the links. So we're on Facebook. Definitely, if you like to see my results, I'm always on Facebook. That would be credit and first time home buyers plug. I do have like a ton of other Facebook groups, but this is the one I'm on the most. But I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good one. Bye bye.